Hello there, Maria. I've got my headphones on, so let me just check out of my headphones a second and pull my plug and stick my plug into my ear just for premises that I can't actually plug myself in and recharge myself right now because I am not a humanoid yet. So anyway, I'm basically waiting for my GP to fund what's called direct payments. Direct payments are for any person over the age of 18 or under the care of social care under the age of 18 for anything that is for any form of condition or disability needs. Now, a lot of people have been in confusion with me because carers and people who are classed as service users understand it as direct payments. Legal people and financial people understand it as indicative budget. So everything that I've been saying to people going, but hang on a minute, I've got an indicative budget that was under Lancashire Social Services and it was done by Adult Social Care. And then the law came in just as I left Leyland and was free-falling between Southport and my aunts and going to London for Success Resources and Kevin Green and Anthony Robbins and going to Save the Family. So in between that time, when Flintshire County Council did a freedom of request, so mine, Liam, Daniel, Aaron and Faith's GP was in Leyland. And my indicative budget for me and my children, 2 older children who were part of Children Carers Network, right? And one of the people from here is there. Now, when the social worker did a freedom of request, the only thing that was on her system for Leyland was a MARIC that was done by midwifery. So let's get this right, people, okay? Because it's really, really fucking important. I've got a PA that will be timelining this going, right, I've got to take this down. So in 2010, I had what was called a Children in Need meeting. So this is a care around the children meeting. So I'm going to go and get my box here. And in this little box here, I have this folder. EDS, eat your heart out, watch my veins, watch my veins, watch my veins, watch my veins. I can't actually do this properly. So this blue folder here, this was an article from New Woman magazine. You can just see the top of my head there and the top of my thing there. I will challenge Britain. Now, this is not what it was about. It was never, ever, ever. This is bollocks. This is bollocks. This is media frenzy stuff, right? This is bollocks, right? However, it does say here, Kellie Ann suffers from a chronic disability which stops her from having a regular job, but says she's now even more determined to launch the product despite receiving many negative comments. The psychology graduate has a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which stops her body from producing collagen, which results in daily dislocations of her joints and has resulted in her being in and out of a wheelchair. She says, I'm not phased by the negative comments because all of them are unfounded, from people who don't understand my disability. Now, I don't say disability. I read a few pages of the comments on websites, but then I stopped. I was prepared for backlash. And if that is what has to happen for me to get Challenge Britain started, then so be it. The only thing I found offensive was the comments about my kids, but they have been okay and haven't had anything said to them at school. They didn't have anything said to them at school, but what happened with people who made unfounded comments is these people rang the multi-agency framework. Now, Depending what time a social worker picks up a call is whether it goes in or out of hours. In and out of hours is two very, very different things. Now, I've got to do some videos on what a Section 20 is for the Ukrainian families that are coming here to Portsmouth and are already here, so they understand what it means if they sign a Section 20 and why the police and social could potentially... 2 seconds. Oh, I just got an itchy nose then. Why the police could potentially... be removing their children. Signing a Section 20 is a voluntary action to put your child into foster care. So people don't understand that when you sign a Section 20, even though they coerce you into doing it, it's voluntary. Now, this is where people have to understand the difference in being coerced. Now, this is not one of mine, but this, as you can see, this has got Sean written on the top. This is Circles of Violence, right? Now, this is a course that people who are put on who have been through domestic violence, right? And then whenever you have children's social safeguarding, you always have a user's feedback thing. I don't want to, this is one of my ones, right? So the social worker's name goes on there and it's Sam Fox. I've never met Sam Fox. So that piece of paperwork has got to go to this side here because this is not part of this. That can go for scanning, as in to shredding. So here, I've obviously got case closure to children's social care. I am writing to confirm, in accordance with your wishes, Portsmouth's Children's Social Care and Safeguarding will not be completing an assessment of your children at this time. We have stepped down Elijah and Shiloh's case to Universal Services. I would like to take this opportunity to advise you that we have continued to receive anonymous reports of concerns. Many of these are linked to photos and videos you share on social media, right? So basically on the 3rd of November last year, that came in from the service leader to say, yes, it is coming from outside agencies that are causing that. That basically means, and that letter is so fucking important for me because it proves that social is saying, look, it's not us, and it is coming and I'm going to be getting this for Flintshire as well, is because don't forget, this person that's challenging Britain was based in Leyland, Chorley, at the time of the media. Now, I lived in Leyland for 13 years and I was in Chorley, which is different, hence why I had Chorley and Leyland papers, right? Now, I need to keep that to the side. Now, these are the Premier Inn hotel receipts, which many of you have seen, Ramada receipts, right down to Pontins when they basically wrote that I was homeless because I had a tenancy, so save the family license agreement, 31st of October 2012. Now, if social needed to do an assessment of me over the 26 weeks, first of all, I was already in supported accommodation. So already I had a 2-year contract. This is a 2-year contract. I can pull it out, but it's the courts that have got to see it. It's the judge that's got to see it. My argument, the only person who's got the power to do anything is a court. So that was a 2-year contract. Now, I got there on the 31st of October 2012. 31st of October 2012. Halloween, signed a contract agreement. Okay, another one of Pontins, so I put that with there. Now, first of all, you've got the start. So my children were taken on the 13th of December 2012, and they didn't do their psychology report until writing to her on the 11th of February. So my children had been detained all over Christmas, all over New Year, everybody back into work in January. They had 10 foot of snow, and then all of a sudden everybody's getting their act together by February, but we still haven't got my medical notes, and they were still in Leyland, and it took until May. In the proceedings of Aaron Cottam, date of birth, Faith Cottam, their surnames are wrong. Proceedings, report needs to be done by the 24th of April. which must be reported lodged. So all this time, I'm a mother who is literally going like, where the fuck are my kids? All I want to know is where my kids are. Obviously, as you do know, that I didn't actually follow the car, but I was heading to Pontins. The reason that I was heading to Pontins was because I was facing eviction because my children had been taken. So I thought, with Liam, I'm going to have to go to Pontins. On turning into Pontins, I saw their car in front of me. They literally live right behind the one in Prestatyn. My son obviously reported me saying that's mum in the car, and I got what was called a non-molestation order put on me, which meant that if I removed my children, that I would be done for kidnapped of my own children. I also had draconian gagging orders on me, and the reason being because of previous media. Now, in the time that it took me from my children being taken, now don't forget, I didn't have a phone, didn't have a laptop, I was living on Save the Family, I had to use their facilities, I had no family other than Christine and Jamie around me, and Jamie did turn up, and I basically was like, I don't need drama. And also I'd had a lot of the people local coming and sitting in with me, and people just boom, 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 and my head was just like bump. And the day that my mum rang me, I ended up with 7 police officers at the front door saying that I was beating my son upstairs, but I was actually on the phone to my mum. So anyway, this is an article from a newspaper that was printed on the 26th of May 2013. Now, I haven't even gone to trial yet. I don't go to trial until June. The leading charity offers support for vulnerable family will no longer receive government funding. So basically, to cut a short story short, because I don't want to drag it all out, Save the Family chairman Mike Doran says it seems a bit strange this is happening now. We felt we were moving in a positive way. So a number of inspections since 2010 have found that Save the Family need to make significant improvements. So basically, off the back of my complaint, they got closed down and they put all their money into something else. I then have here, obviously, that needs to go into the front cover of that because that's the full psychological report. And then, obviously, you get things like this. This is where I said to you they've even got Faith's date of birth wrong. So that's the 26th of October 2010. So Faith's date of birth is the 26th of March. Is this March? Yeah, it's not February. It's not October. It's March, right? So don't believe everything you wear. While a care order is enforced, no person may cause the children to be known by a new surname or remove the child from the UK without any written consent to every person with parental responsibility for the children or to leave the court. However, the local authority in those care the children may remove the child from the United Kingdom for a period of less than a month. So they're basically allowed to take the children out for less than a month, okay? It may be a criminal offence under the Child Abduction Act of 1984 to remove the children from the UK without the leave of the court. District Judge Shaw, 21st of June 2013. So that is after my 26-week court process. I had no parental assessments. I had no things. I was thrown into a contact centre that had a high chair and a couple of chairs and 2 fat slags, Sharon and Tracy, sitting in the corner going, woo, and me and Liam basically cowered in the corner with the two children running around, not sure what to do. And it was a really horrible experience. And Daniel, I kept with his dad. And he was stayed in school. I got to miss absolutely everything. His finals, his footballs, everything. And he went on to be a farmer, not a doctor. Liam's doing really well now. He's got a partner who's got children. He's got a son. I can ring Daniel and he'll answer the phone at any point, but he doesn't ring me. Liam's had to get himself together. Obviously, their hurt is because Aaron and Faith are real. And they were with us until Faith was 2, Aaron was 3. And in the time of this, Aaron turned 4 and Faith turned 3. And I've lived in the residual of a mother who should now have Dean stood here and our 2 children here and his children around as well, okay? And that's how we should come together as a family. But this order says that I can't. And I did appeal. but this is how I wrote it because I didn't have any legal. It was at a time that legal aid had been cut, so what they said on Thingamajig is actually wrong. Now, here is actually a adult social services report that was done during this time that said, yep, when the kids come back, it's all fine, it's not a problem. But this was never ever put into the courts. This is all my complaints that were done, that were all upheld, that were never submitted to the court. 36 upheld complaints. This is my ICPC complaint, all upheld. And an occupational therapist assessment that was done to say everything's good. And then I learned to do it like this. And then obviously while I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with benefits who I'd then gone on to support. And then the moment I come here, I get my children's membership card, family name, and I literally make sure that the system know that there'd be a gun to their head. And then I'm straight put to a psychiatrist. And straight we go again through here. And then I'm cleared. And then I was actually cleared really quickly because I was able to show 2 social workers all this stuff, and they sat there and went, the quicker we're out your life, the better. And the thing is, I was able to show them this. Now, in the psychological report, yeah, they basically said right at the beginning that I've got an attachment disorder because I don't have 2 parents. And actually, I did have 2 parents. Had my 2 parents step forward and gone parties to proceedings. And this is what people miss out. People go, hey, I'm here. But until you go parties to proceedings, the court goes, no, you're not. Right? And it's only people that are in the court that are now to know this information, because some children deal with things like this. And that information is meant to be private. It doesn't need to be in the papers. It doesn't need to be in things. And that's why the courts are closed, for the protection of children that have been abused. But the challenge that we've got is there's meant to be children's social care, adult social care, so under 18, over 18, and a family system. Because everything is under multi-frame agency and child protection, people ain't getting to the family system. And because of comorbid situations with people, and there's usually sexual abuse trauma somewhere in someone's life, and in the court they said I'd never had the therapy. I said, yes, I did. I went to the sexual assault forensic examination who dealt with an assault that I'd gone through at that time, but also dealt with everything else at the time. And I was actually there for 2 years. The woman who was the psychologist went, oh, no, you couldn't. You wouldn't have been somewhere at 2 years. I was part of building it. Hence, I was there a lot longer. Yes, now you only get 10 sessions. She argued it has never, ever, ever been presented. Why? Because I wasn't stable until 2025, June 2015, when I was living with a legal team. Dear Kelly, I refer to our conversation. I can confirm that you attend counselling sessions here at the Safe Centre from Feb 2003. So calculate it, February. Well, that's only January missing. It takes you December. So that's only 2 months off. Yeah, okay. So all the way through. We have documented recordings of this. In fact, that's a full, so 2000, that's a full 1, 2. So that's literally 2 months off 2 years. I am in the process of speaking with our legal team for you to be able to process this. Yours sincerely, case manager. So straight away, again, discredits it. It's like the website, yeah? It's like the website goes, oh, the children ain't registered with a doctor. Well, I take you down to the doctors. You've been with me when I've even spoken to the doctors. They haven't, there's no evidence of them going to the dentist. Well, actually, Your Honour, there's lives, and it's not really a place that you take photographs. However, there are some sneaky videos of me capturing it, because obviously I was videoing because I was concerned about my children's reaction to the penicillin. And also, if I go into my fridge for penicillin that hasn't been used, just to also show you, Your Honour, that this prescription was written up in the name of Master Elijah Samuel, and obviously has to be done. That wasn't done by the doctor, that was done by the dentist, yeah? And then they go on and say, and homeschooling, and then they go on to say these things like that. I'm always dealing with people that are presenting false information that they've got no idea about. And it's like, people don't understand. Sometimes it's just things like this that can help you. It's just people that tell a story. It's people that can take the time out to talk about their experiences that they've been through and write books. And, you know, so if you haven't got this, this is Chris Tuck. Again, more evidence of children abused by their own family, but then failed by the system. And trauma is trauma, and we all have a right to have that help. And they say I haven't had it, so I would go on to not be able to protect my daughter from sexual abuse, even though I'd raised 2 boys. My 2 boys were never brought into it because they're not adoption age. So what Save the Family did was horrendous, and they weren't just doing it to me, they were doing it families before me. This has been going on for generations before me, after me, and it's going to continue going on. Whether it is designed to do this to meet the needs of a supply and demand for adoption, whether it is designed to do this to meet the needs, just like going to the RSPCA, or whether, like the RSPCA, people genuinely get floods and floods of animals and neglected and, you know, abused, just like children that do need some form of forever family, some form of stability, some form of home. But it is through our own bloodlines, and there is a separation of bloodlines. And the thing is, the devil wants to destroy and kill marriage, family, and all of them things. And he's doing a wonderful, great job, and pretty much got, you know, 99% of you. There is still 1% of the people that have not conformed to the ways of the world, and they continue by the renewing of their mind and their heart and their soul. And there's a lot of people that have conformed, and they do, and they don't come in line with the Sabbath day, and they don't do a lot of things, basically, which ends up in a world of debauchery and greed and pride and envy and a lot of other things. So anyway, let's just say, all during lockdown, this here, yeah, no doctor has signed this, no dentist has signed this, no social worker signed this. It was only Brighton and Hove bus people helping us all the way through. And things like the sunflowers, it's all a mindset. By putting on that sunflower, people felt like they had a law that protected them. By putting on that sunflower or putting on that I'm exempt, people felt that they could continue in their normal ways by not putting a mask on, by saying, no, I don't need to have the vaccination. But it was an illusion. It was a placebo. It was nothing more than a hidden disabilities website done by people with hidden conditions that knew what was coming and preparing and got ready and protected people during a time in transition for a different form of education. And if I get one and put one on my dog, it's not law. There's no law or system that says that my dog is a service dog. There's no law that says this. There is just an organisation that come together to try to bridge gaps for people that are either blind, deaf, people who are blind, have dogs, guide dogs. Lots of people get this. And it's all about what you can understand. Now, I've got a bathroom, finally. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But it took for me to keep pushing, because they kept sending me a plumber and me saying it's not a plumbing issue. I need a contractor coming in. I need the surveyor coming in. It took for him to have a son who's had brain injury to understand the importance of some fundamentals to keep his son moving. And he said if we don't enable him, sometimes he can't, and he got it. So he's pushed and overridden my housing officer. But again, they've bypassed the occupational therapist, which is the most important fundamental thing in it, because that brings things to the core. That brings things back to balance by the fact that right now my knees are sliding in and out, my shoulder is out, my neck is out, I'm waiting for an upright MRI, and it takes coordination. It takes for a general practitioner who is specialised in this condition, and we have one, she's called Kate, but it takes money. And then people have a go at you if you fundraise. So I've got a fundraiser this Sunday. I've got a car boot. I've finally got a little bit more order and structure in this middle room. But it's taking me time because at the end of the day, you know, I've got to pick up individually, go through. The boys' bedroom is tidy. But thank God, I mean, you know, Elijah makes me laugh, yeah, because I actually organise all this stuff and then he puts all this back. And then I organise all of this and he puts it all back. And then I organise all of this and then he puts them all back. And he's got his own, you know, and it's great. So I might be putting the boys in there because it looks like I'm not going to be taking a managed move just yet because they're going to be putting a bathroom in, which means right now I've just bleached the floor, by the way, and I won't have to do that anymore. So bye-bye to the boys' backs. A bath is coming here. I can't wait. But the problem is do I go for a shower while I'm waiting for a bath, or are they going to be on it, or is it going to take ages, or blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that means I can get on. My bed is ready, and Dean has been quite acceptance that sometimes I've just got to sit there and keep my neck straight. And yes, he's going to have to accept that. Yes, I will put neck braces on. Yes, I will put things on, and I've got to get my strap. But through the NHS, you've got to pay for this stuff privately. And I've got to go back for my indicative budget because my indicative budget is my everything that links to my NHS number that says Kelly has this condition, and we as a country and as a NHS provide legal. Now, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is part of the rare condition bill that has gone through. That means, and this is the problem with the courts, they are diagnosing people, whether it be psychologically, mentally, but they are not delivering treatment, and they're saying that it can't be done in this time because had I not had the treatment, which I already had, right, had they thrown them things at me, I'd have committed suicide a long time ago. And I'm still here and I'm still breathing, I'm still dealing with it. But I've got to get things like bins downstairs with someone whose left ankle, I've sussed out last night how to pull my ankle and probably chiropractic it myself. So I'm thinking Bournemouth is the place for me. They've got chiropractic education. They've got a lot of stuff going on. So, but I'm not ready to be static anywhere and live anywhere like going here on a Thursday, going here and doing this and going doing that. It's about building. It's been working so well with Dean here, even though he's gone from now sleeping in the boys' double decker bus to now being on the sofa in here with a quilt to being around and getting it. Because if I don't get the treatment that I need, then yes, I will have an earlier death than my mum. And my mum will be standing there going, well, you know, we got it with Helena, we got it with Francesca, and my mum got it with her, but why was Kelly always left out? You know, they had private medical health insurance. My mum's had her teeth done, but that's because her husband has his own company and has a lot more money. My husband's haven't. And it's like, as women, I don't think people get it. And it's National Independence Day yesterday or today or wherever it is anyway. As women, you know, we do need to pay for our own dentist. We do need to pay for our own haircuts. We don't need to be sitting around for men waiting for paying boots and doing haircuts and stuff like that. I've always loved having my own money. What I haven't liked is being on, say, paying so much fucking tax, and it's easier to stay under a certain tax bracket and just have it taken out of your money and not see it and just get paid what you get. But eventually you get annoyed with it, and eventually you think, oh God, you know, I can do the director's job with my eyes closed. And when I did Ann Summers and I got to know them, and it's like, hang on a minute, like this woman's got all these people around the world that are basically putting her in this place, and they're only getting a certain percent of what she's doing. And yes, it makes easier. It's called pyramid marketing. It's called multi-level marketing. Then there's things called affiliate link marketing. There's things called gold. There's things called silver. There's things called Bitcoin. There's things called crypto. And people need to utilise these things right now. Yes, government are going to try and cut the crypto down. Yes, the federal banking system are going to do everything that they can, but it doesn't mean that each week you can't just make sure that you invest in what you invest in, your time, your skills, your community, because it's going to look like it's sunny and lovely and great and everybody's out and more people are going to get ready, but then you're going to get chipped for me, this would be wonderful. For me, it would be so easy to carry my medical notes around with me in the palm of my hand. And it would. And for so many people with spina bifida and brain injuries, they're going to benefit so much from the Neuralink. The Neuralink is already saving people's lives who have been paralysed for years. But the problem is, with every wonderful, great, brilliant mind and great thing, there is always somebody evil and corrupt behind going, they want control of this particular thing, and it gets weaponized. And unfortunately, this is something that's going to get weaponized, because even Elon Musk is the sort of person who would get kidnapped by the evil fucking scientist, investor person that wants to build some fucking rocket to the moon ship, that wants to use his facilities to do something. So if you were watching like X-Men or things like that, Elon Musk would be that scientist that people want and need, okay? And he has warned people about AI and everything his whole life. He slowed things down, he speed things up. What you've got to remember in this Russia thing, before I go, is in part of their Great Reset, if they don't isolate and contain Russia's supply of gases out to everybody, Germany, blah, 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 you won't convert to electric. There will be no supply and demand for people. They won't want to go back to old coal. People won't want to go back. They want to go forward. Now, it's lithium. In order to sustain the supply and demand of electric capabilities and all of the stuff, it's lithium for the battery that's keeping things going. And in order to mine the lithium, which is, I can't remember where it is now, is it, oh shit, I can't remember where the fucking is. But to mine the lithium would take mass supply to do what it is that they need to do. And that is all that's slowing everybody down on that side of things. It's lithium, basically. But as with everything, savage, rape and stuff has already started. The guys are back, so the information is over there in order to know the numbers of people. Obviously, a lot of people are already here and coming here. And all I'm saying to people is, if you can translate in Ukrainian or Russian or any other thing to anybody in the UK to explain, and do it. You know, the people who are trolling my website, if you're wanting to educate people, get on that fucking website. Don't use my name. You know, have the audacity and balls and nouses to do it in your own way, and educate people about exactly what they are being coerced to sign on a Section 20, and how they can just go and get their children back and say, no, they no longer agree, and how to take steps and stages, and exactly in home education and all of that stuff, instead of taking the time to watch my videos trolling me like a fucking cunt. Idiots. So anyway, my website is Kellie, i.e. lie. I was originally Y, but I am still IE. Cottam.co.uk. Theirs, whoever they is Kellie, i.e. -Cottam.com. So anyway, now I've got the capabilities to go through and write down their questions and sit on my laptop and things. I'll actually answer them. So to the first 3 on there, I've blown it out the water already. And people know we've been to the dentist, because you've seen me tagged there. You've seen me with my kids getting a little sneaky thing. I haven't exactly gone to the dentist. Hey, can we have a selfie for the people to show we're at the dentist? But I am trying to put together a documentary to do with my stuff with EDS. But I've got to get permission off everybody. I've got videos of my chiropractor. It's just that I don't have permission from Nick to put them up, because he's too bothered about his belly. So anyway, I've got to make some money for the flip over of my car. I have got my PIP form ready. I don't particularly want to go on PIP and Motability, because I only get 60,000 miles over 3 years. And someone like me working needs to do way more than that. And yeah, anyway, so, right. Boom. Anyway, I need to get the fuck on. So, boys are out with their dad, as you can tell. So, as the boys are out with their dad, fucking shit fucking can't down pissing, raging thing. And they've got a problem with my swearing. I got a problem with my fucking swearing. It's called fucking anger. It's the boom, yeah? And at the end of the day, I would rather fucking swear than fucking go around hitting people or drinking or taking drugs. So, and if swearing is about the only fucking thing other than smoking that I do fucking wrong, fucking fuck off. So either be here helping me get this fucking shit together, like actually, you know, somebody is actually attempting to come forward and do, and or whatever. So yeah, I've got shitloads to do, and I've got a judicial review and a lot of other things to do, private prosecution, because I'm suing the bastards for what they've done. It's medical neglect, it's abuse, and there are laws that protect people like me, including from the hate crime on the website, and I'm going to, you know, use my rights. And if people don't understand their own rights, that's their problem, not mine. I've had a lot of trauma to deal with, and if people don't understand that trauma, and, you know, I don't want people just turning up at my court case anymore, because it's the people that have turned up at my court case that people associate me with. And it's like, okay, so you've associated me with based on who was in my court case, but you didn't know how I knew them people, or even if I didn't know them people. Do you ever think that maybe I just turned up onto an already existing thing and people jumped on to a mother's case and tried to tell this, that and this, and I'm the sort of person who will go and do whatever it is that I feel is right for my family, and people don't like that, and they don't. So anyway, have a good day to you all that are here for whatever reasons that you are here. And if you can't help, don't hinder. And if you don't even know how to help, then maybe ask the question that Pip does. How does your condition affect you on a daily basis? Yeah, what does it prevent you from doing? Well, maybe it prevents me from skating as much as these people do, or if any time. You know, and it doesn't work for someone like me to pip in and out, because people don't know you when so closeness and relationships are being built, and people get quite protective and they don't need people in and out. So I've got to build around myself with people that understand this roller coaster of living with EDS, because it's a fucking roller coaster. And even if Dean and I were going out today and they were reliant on me, until all this shit's done, we can't get on with our life. You know, I'm still going to be going, hey, I can't quite move on right now. You know, I've got this stuff to do. Hey, there's 2 children out there that are hoping, you know, what, their mum's going to sit and wait until they're 18. Sorry, not like that. And I'll tell Dean, what, if you think I'm going to be a mother who sits around like you fathers that go, I'll see her when they're fucking 18, and grandparents that go, yeah, when they're 18, they won't want to fucking see you, mate, because you couldn't be bothered with them before they were 18. Fact. And then you turn up and they slam on the door and you walk away like the jammy bastard you were before. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Don't work like that for me. No, I'm a mother of 7 children, simple, frank, and always will be. Jessica, Liam, Daniel, Aaron, Faith, Elijah, and Shiloh, all the way through and through, forever forward, never backwards. Keep moving forwards, keep trying, and even if I fall on my ass, you know, get back up later. And if I've got a subluxed hip or a fractured thing, then, you know, on with it. Oh, did you gather that I was jammed in? I was hoping you were going to shout me to let you out. I got jammed in, so I thought, I got him, a Roger to say, shout me if Pete comes out and I'll move. I won't be in a cunt. I was hoping that we could all be reasonable and it'd be all right with you than anyone else. Yeah, that's fine. I knew you weren't punching me tyres, that's all. You'd warn me before you did. So, anyway, have a nice day. See you later. I got shit to do.